Hello there and welcome back to another video. Today we'll be taking a look at some of the cheaper sets that you can buy as of January the 1st, and I am crushing them all into one video. I feel like I've done so many set reviews, what with all the sets I got for Christmas, all the sets that I ordered for January, and you can check out all the reviews that are already up. I have reviewed the T-Rex Fossil Skull and also the new Star Wars Battle Pack, which honestly, they're two of the better sets I think I can safely say from this whole year. I'll be very surprised as to what else LEGO's got up its sleeves. But today, of course, you've seen the thumbnail. We will be looking at these three sets here. We've got Steve's Desert Adventure. We have the excellent Forest expansion set for the Yoshi side of Mario. And we also have the Spider-Man Doc Ock motorcycle chase. So I'm really intrigued to just have a look at all these sets, see how they compare to each other. There'll be a comparison for this Yoshi set with a polybag, very similar to this set actually. Come with just the yellow Yoshi and a tree, sort of a smaller expansion pack, but didn't come with this QR code. Now, I don't know really what the QR codes do because I do not have any of the starter courses for Mario, but I really am intrigued to the actual Yoshi builds for this set. Of course, Minecraft has a few new pieces. In fact, all of the three characters you get in here have some sort of new feature. Even the Phantoms, so stay tuned so you don't miss that out. We'll probably be building that one first. And of course, my first Doc Ock, my first of the new sort of superhero bikes, which I'm really intrigued to how they compare not only to stunts, but all the older city bikes. And I'm really liking the boxes. The smaller sets, I will admit, feel a lot closer to the older boxes we're used to. They don't feel too small, and they all are the exact same size. But if you've seen any of my other reviews, you will know that the Battle Pack and T-Rex boxes are much slimmer than the boxes we got last year, and I am really liking it, especially the Battle Pack one. It's so much smaller. I think the 501st Battle Pack was closer to the size of the T-Rex, and you can see just how small the Battle Pack one is compared to that. Enough about boxes, let's get building the first set. And no, I won't be commentating the whole of the build. I thought today we'd switch it up, and instead of me building first and going over it, we'd sort of go over all the pieces as I build them for a change, because it just switches things up, and with all the reviews keeps things a little fresh for this video. So first up, we do have Minecraft Steve here, who I found out with the Shock Trooper as well, it's very hard to put the accessories in the new minifigure hand. So I'm not quite sure if that's something to do with some new hand pieces, or perhaps they might have switched up the mold to something a little more accurate. I'm not quite sure. It might just be the case that two of the minifigures I've got have just been a bit differently scaled to the rest, or perhaps it's because they've not been used. But as you can see, there is a new head print for Steve. I believe it's the same sort of squared head mold, same colour as the last one. But Steve now has this blue square between his eyes, and his eyes are wide open. I guess is meant to be him sweating in the desert or something like that. I'm not quite sure what they've gone for. I mean, I'm not sure LEGO are too sure. And this is a new torso, which might just be an updated print into the collar piece there. And I think they've actually used a different colour for his face, so that might be also on the face is a different colour, but it's mainly that blue square in the middle. Either way, for now, the torso and head are exclusive to the set. There's actually three other pieces, but he does come with an enchanted axe. I guess in the desert there's not many trees, but the axe is a quite nice weapon if you've played Minecraft, so it's quite nice for Steve to have just that one accessory. And another character down, another two new pieces down. In fact, we do actually get a duplicate of this nose tile, which is brand new for the camel and does represent the face of the camel quite nicely. Of course, it wouldn't work without that brand new headpiece. They could have probably gone away with using the llama's piece or something, but Minecraft dedicated to getting somewhat of, I guess, accuracy with their mobs at least, because another new build we get for this set is this camel mob, which is amazing. Of course, we've got the regular legs, which are used across all Minecraft mobs. If you've bought a set, you've probably seen them on sheep, pigs, cows, really any of them. And we've also got a nice hump here for the camel, which I guess you could probably just sit Steve behind. I know in-game the characters are meant to be able to ride the camels, it would have been nice to have got some sort of feature here for that. And before I continue, let me just double check. There is nothing in the instructions to show how you can seat them, but I guess really, if you take off the hump, Steve does just sit to one side. I think you can even get two characters on, so you might even have to take off the tile, but I'm sure you'll have no problems trying to take off a few pieces and get two characters sat on the back. It's just a shame that Lego didn't include it in their instructions, but this head mold is really nice. Not only do we get the little ears sticking out, but also that eye printed on there, and it lines up with the rest of the build. And here we have the third and final mob for the set, the Phantom, which actually is a brand new Phantom compared to the last one we saw. It's more or less the same build. There doesn't seem to be any drastic changes, at least. There's not really much they can change too much. I like the fact that we've got this stand, which also came on the STAP in the recent Star Wars Battle Pack. So I really like this for standing it up. This piece here actually has much less bubbles than the one I got in that set. So it's nice to see there's a bit of an inconsistency and not all of them have so many bubbles. I'm not quite sure if you saw it in my set review. I must have had about 4 bubbles right in the middle, and it's not the best for a clear element. Anyway, the exclusive piece here is the tile on the front. At the minute, it only comes in this set, and I wouldn't be surprised if by the time it comes out in another set, it's a completely different print. So it's nice to be getting 3 exclusive mobs, even though it's mostly just this tile at the front. It looks very, very nice and is a very clean build, so there's not really much they could have done to improve on the previous model. So I'm very happy with all the 3 mobs we get in this set. It'd be nice to see the reasoning behind Steve's blue square on his head, but for now, let's get into the build. And as I'm building this set, I would like to point out that the 2 light tan bases that come in the set were outside of any bags in the actual box, and they didn't have sort of their own bag. They weren't included in any other bags. They were just loose in the box. It's quite nice that for a small set, the bigger plates and bigger bricks aren't included in that plastic waste that's used to make the bigger bags. In fact, the bags in general were pretty small across all 3 of these sets, and while it's not quite paper, yeah, it is a step still in the right direction, as even when they're using paper bags, it'd be nice to see smaller bags in Lego sets because we don't need all that room. Now we have our first sort of Minecraft block element that isn't really too much part of the scenery, and that is the Minecraft campfire. What they've done is use some jumper plates. It might have been nicer to have seen a 2x2 jumper plate and a centered fire stud, but I do like the fact that they've included the 1x2 round white plate and then 2 fire elements that sort of cross over. They are different fire elements. You've got one that's this candle element and one that's this top feather. Sorry about that, just had to go and get my bric-a-brac parcel, which contains all the poly bags we'll be looking at. It's a future video, but do subscribe so you don't miss out on that. And where were we? We were talking about this campfire, so it would have been nice to see a jumper plate, but I like the fact that we've got the 2 different fire elements, and what they've done is sort of spun this one into it to create this awesome fire effect. You could probably even do it the other way around and just spin it in front, but I think it definitely looks better spun behind like this and gives off an awesome sort of campfire effect. You've got the flame going up and this flame blowing across it, which you usually see when you're working with fire. So I really do like the campfire, and of course the crafting table. I'm not really going to show it off too much. It's the same old crafting table, no exclusive pieces, so this has been used many times before, and just don't fix what isn't broken. But something that many people may have considered broken, including myself, was the cactus. It did span more than its area when working with the Lego cactus. I think they used a lot of snot brackets, so I'm happy to see it finally fit in that block radius. I guess you've still got the studs at the front, but you can't place any blocks next to a cactus, and I think that was the whole point of using the brackets. I'm very happy they've gone with this technique. Not only do you have the anti-studs on the back, which honestly, I prefer the fact they didn't sort of flatten it out and kept the studs on the front too. It gives it that Lego feel. It's Also quite accurate to the rough surface on a cactus. I guess it's not spiky like the rounded tiles we've got in the botanical collection, but I also like these stripes on the side, and I think this is my favourite cactus so far. So hopefully they keep doing this going forward, or perhaps even give us some other bits. I guess there is the cactus piece right next to the tent. So if you wanted to keep it true to Minecraft, perhaps move it one forward and it's away from the other wall pieces, or perhaps there's some sort of stairs by the look. So that is a bit more accurate for Minecraft, but as the set shows, we will move it one forward, and I believe the rest are spare pieces. So that is everything. We'll take a quick look at all the other sets that are in the back of the manual. Of course, we have already reviewed these January 1st in my extended video to some depth, but it's nice to see a load of new elements that Minecraft are adding in their updates, which tends to be few and far between, and also all the new mobs. Hopefully we get the new mob from the mob vote soon, the armadillo, which I'm pretty sure I referred to as an aardvark at some stage, so apologies for that. I can't wait to see the Lego armadillo, and overall this set is really good. Again, it's only £9. I'll put all the other prices on screen for you. And not only do you get this little scene, you also get a phantom, because perhaps Steve has been lost in the desert for some time and isn't sleeping. And I've just realised that's what this face is. If Steve doesn't sleep for, I think it's a few nights, he gets haunted by phantoms and they start attacking him. This is meant to represent some sort of tired face probably, and he hasn't slept for a while, the phantoms are coming to attack him, and now it all suddenly makes sense. So he's probably trying to shelter himself in this tent, which isn't too hard to remove. You can sit Steve right in the center, just like so. Put the tent back on him, minding the axe, of course. You might just have to squeeze it on, or let's move him forward just so he fits for the video. And then the tent goes on the top, just like so. And I'm not really selling this set. This is quite hard to play around with. But eventually, we'll get Steve in there. He'll be sat in the tent, which I guess is sort of protecting him from this phantom, because the phantoms can sort of dive down on you, but not get in little doorways and holes. And of course, we've got the nice little camel here. This will be a great addition to our Minecraft display that we are starting to build this year, so stay tuned for that. And this is the first cheapest set. It's a great price, great pieces. Love the cactus. The mobs selected are great because unlike Star Wars, we get Mando in every set. We get Vader in every set. These are mobs that for now and for this whole wave are exclusive to this set. So very happy with this, and on to the next set. Now the next one is going to be the Yoshi's Excellent Forest expansion set. Of course, you can see Mario in like this ghost-like figure because it doesn't include Mario. Lego Mario is not included, as you can see, and this is to expand one of your starter courses. I believe there's only 3, Mario, Luigi and Peach, but what's interesting about this set is that the Yoshis come bagged separately to the actual build, or at least for the most part. Bag number 1, you can assume, is the pink Yoshi. I mean, look at all the pieces in the bag. There's nothing else really included. Bag 2 is the scenery, and we can see one of our exclusive pieces, that nice dragon egg. And we've also got bag 3, which I guess has a little bit of scenery here, but is mostly that yellow Yoshi. So I guess we'll start off with bag number 1. And as we can see, it pretty much just builds the pink Yoshi. So I'll get this built and then I'll talk a little bit about it afterwards. And as you can see, that's the pink Yoshi done. I think the only thing you'll have to be careful of here is which way up you put the nose. You can see it isn't a unique printed piece to this set. Not even in this colour is it any new, because we've already got the pink and the yellow Yoshis before. The yellow Yoshi I know was definitely in a poly bag. Of course, I've got it right next to me. And as you can see, it's the same sort of Yoshi build that we get here. It's pretty much identical by the looks, and it'll be interesting comparing the two sets, as this is indeed a much smaller poly bag and therefore doesn't cost as much as this set. We do have this spare white piece. It does not look like it's meant to be spare, but honestly there's nowhere for it to go, so it's really interesting that we get a 1x2 spare, as usually they're just these 1x1 bricks or plates or tiles. In fact, I don't even think we get bricks as extras, so I really like this. It's a nice piece to get. It's not too common, so I'll be adding that to my collection. But Now it's time for bag 2. And the only real special thing about bag 2 that I'm going to mention before we finish the build are these two pieces, are the exclusive pieces. Again, I'm not quite sure what this does, so you have to buy it and check it out for yourself, but this is a very nice piece. It's, I believe, the same mold as the usual egg that we used to see, and of course with Yoshi's green spots on. This is the same sort of style of egg that showed up at the end of the Mario movie, so at some point it'd be really cool to do a diorama recreating that scene. And here we have the excellent expansion set complete, and it really does look pretty cool. I mean, the main part for me is going to be this display set, because if you don't have any of the starter packs, then the QR codes aren't really going to be worth anything. But it does come with this little extension, so Mario can be sure to jump on when he pops past. But the nest does look really cool for the egg. It's a great use of the limited pieces. I think this is probably the lowest piece count of the 3 sets I'll be building in this video. But I'm a big fan of just how simple they've got the trees. They're quite minimalist, but they're still quite effective. This apple tree in the back. We've even got a little tub with an apple in down here. Nice few plants here and there. They probably could have done a few more plants, and like this extra piece we've got, just included one at the front here, but it is really nice, looks really good, and I can't really fault the design of the Yoshis because they do look really cool and really accurate at that. Now, I'm sure they're not quite minifigure scale, but for sure if Lego was to create a minifigure line, they could definitely modify this back shell to actually just be the 2 round tiles or plates on top of each other and have a minifigure sit on top. They might have to work out this back bit and put these further across, but especially if they just move the head forward one like you see in the game, this is sort of how the Yoshis look, and you can definitely sit a Mario minifigure on the back. So I'll definitely be making a diorama with these very soon, the first minifigure scaled Mario set, and I might even do another diorama later on this year for this egg, because I think it'd be really cool to recreate some movie scenes in Lego. So stay tuned for that. Do like if you are enjoying so far. We've still got one more set to come. And honestly, I think both sets have been quite cool so far. Of course, we can take a look at all the other Lego sets that have come out. You've got Toad's Shop, you've got this Yoshi set, you've also got the Nessie boat, the Penguins, Bowser's car. I don't actually think we've seen the other two yet. I don't really know what this pipe is with the Goomba outside. Perhaps this is from another set, although based on the set numbers, these two are actually from the same set. It looks to be an older set, so it's probably the Mario starter pack, which is advertised here. You can update your interactive figures and download the app with a QR code, and it does actually have the Mario sort of integrated with this starter set. Of course, you can position these tiles wherever you want, and by the looks, that is indeed from the Mario starter pack. So it's cool to get an exclusive QR in such a cheap set. Again, only £9. The apples nearly got away there, and you can rearrange it really any way you like, and you just turn the tree on the side. It's not as appealing, but it does fit. A lot slimmer, perhaps up against a wall or something. I really like the way you can just rearrange this whatever, and I think that's what's going to be a hit about the new Animal Crossing theme. And last but not least, Spider-Man and Venomized Doc Ock. And you can sort of see what I mean about the plastic bags. There's still so much empty space, but they're definitely a lot more concise than the previous ones. And although the T-Rex definitely had a few pieces in each bag, some of the bags for the battle pack were just the speeder build or the droids in the STAP. And really, they could have done with bags not far off this size themselves. Instead, they went a bit bigger. They were probably 1.5 out to this side or something like that. And especially with the paper bags, paper's great, but if you're oversizing your bags like Lego used to, it's not really that efficient. So I'm very happy they are downsizing the bags as well as the boxes. But let's get this built and I'll review this one afterwards. And this is the entirety of the set, which it might not look like much, but of course we do have a few exclusive pieces. The first one we'll be taking a look before we get to the minifigures is this banana. Now, if you're a Mario fan, the last set of course did include the Yoshi egg. this banana will be just as good for you, because in Mario Kart, bananas are like the whole point of the game. If you're not throwing around bananas, you're not playing it right. If you're not slipping on bananas, you're either too good at the game or, again, not playing it right. And this would be lovely to get in a Mario Kart minifigure scale set. To be fair, even just a regular Mario Kart set, though, with the size of the Mario buildable figures, that would probably be built by bricks. But this is a nice piece to get, and if we ever do get Mario sets, a little printed face on the front wouldn't go too far. And it's not the only exclusive piece on the front of Spider-Man's bike. We do have this red sort of shield piece that is used in the Lego Fortnite glider, and this does have some cool printing on not only the spider on the front but also the headlights on the side. Of course, it's going to be printed if it's got any sort of details on multiple surfaces. Lego haven't always gone by that rule, but you can pretty much guarantee it in the new sets. It's nice that they're also going away from stickers, and it's a piece that sort of can be reused if Spider-Man gets another bike in a few years' time. But Spider-Man himself does sit in there. No dual molded legs, so the minifigures aren't that detailed, but he can hold the handlebars or just fire his webs as he drives, which you might have to angle a bit up so they don't get caught on the handlebars. I am a big fan of these pieces, as you just saw, bounce off the wall, come back, because they could be used in Lego Star Wars sets as a real missed opportunity for trans blue pieces or any really transparent colour to represent the Force and have some more play features using the Force to push down walls, and just gives a set a bit more of that play function. It's something that we haven't seen represented in Lego the Force, so it'd be nice to get these at some point, especially in some of the sets if we get any for the start of the Jedi Order. Of course, we've got that movie coming. A few more have just been announced, and the other exclusive pieces are the Venomized Doc Ock. It looks amazing. Next month in the magazine, we are actually getting the normal Doc Ock. So if you're not a fan of Venomized Doc Ock, you could pick this up, get the normal one, or just end up waiting for the magazine anyway. But he does come with a half venomized head, and also the other side, which is completely venomized. Venom has taken him over, and it's a cool minifigure to get. I believe there's also a Spider-Man car, which looks really cool. And that comes with a Venomized Green Goblin, so I might have to pick that one up for the other Venomized characters. And I'm pretty sure this isn't the end. Of course, we got the Venomized Groot, which was a buildable character, and I think we'll probably get a few more later this year. So it's nice to get some variants of the characters, besides just ones from different shows and different comics. And he does actually come with enough pieces for each of his hands to hold something. He's got dynamite in one hand, and then he's got 3 gems, which, if you are a fan of the Sonic line of sets, this might be your cheaper way of collecting some Chaos Emeralds, as not only do you get the blue, green and pink, but you also get duplicates. So you can keep 3 with this set, put 3 with Sonic, and they're sort of the same elements that we've seen for a while. We've seen them in the Police line, we've seen them in Batman's line, especially when there's a set with Catwoman. There's usually some gems involved, and there's also some stud shooters which you can fire and knock over Doc Ock. I'm very happy that worked. They are both now lost to some dark corner of my room, but at least the set comes with 2 spares, and then of course the extra piece, so you don't have to worry too much about losing them. I'll be on my hands and knees after I've finished recording, but if you don't build your own mocks and nothing, I don't see why you'd be hunting for the little studs. It's a great set. I'm very happy we finally got the banana. There is a somewhat of a display feature with this set, and that is where you can use one of the Doc's arms here and clip him to a little hinge on the top of this lamppost, which is really nice. He can then be sort of hovering, and as long as you display him somewhat close to the ground, I guess if this was on a bigger base plate, you can definitely just display him in the air, but he's a bit too heavy for this little plate here, so you'll just have to take my word. You know what? I might even end up displaying this in the city. I've got a city video coming very soon. I'm going to try and get it out for tomorrow, so subscribe if you're interested in what the plans are for the city 2024. I've got a few new plans before I continue with my aspirations from yesteryear. And I might end up putting Doc Ock on one of my lampposts. Of course, my lampposts are white, but I'll just get a little hinge piece and clip him on somewhere. Perhaps even Spidey rolling around. It's a great set. I really do like it. And on top of the other two sets that we've looked at today, I think this was a very successful haul because these three sets cost a grand total of about £27, which again, they cost £9 each. The other prices will be on the bottom of your screen. And although they are quite little, there's some really good elements used in here. You can see even this alone is quite a nice display piece if you didn't want the extra bit. But there's some exclusive Minecraft mobs, which you can get if you like Minecraft. A small Mario expansion. If you don't fancy any of the bigger sets and just want a Yoshi or two to add to your collection, or perhaps you're not even a fan of the Mario playsets and just want a few Yoshis like me to display on your shelf. And of course, Venomized Doc Ock, who doesn't want another Venomized character? And I know superhero fans are a bit sick of seeing these bikes. In fact, the funny thing is, February 1st, we're getting a Venom bike polybag, which I don't think is going to be too popular unless they end up giving it away for free with some superhero sets. But I'm really happy I picked these three up. Again, 3 exclusive mobs and exclusives, Venomized Doc Ock and this banana element, as well as a Spider-Man bike. And you've got the 2 Yoshis with the brand new Yoshi printed egg. So do drop a like if you liked this video. Be sure to check out any of these sets wherever you buy your Lego, and subscribe. Stay tuned for more awesome Lego content. Now we've got the reviews out the way, this is where the fun begins. And may the bricks be with you always.